Yes, it's your man Babaluku, live, Murder Dog Magazine from Kampala, broadcasting, bringing you that indigenous hip hop love all over from East Africa. Definitely enjoying the time spent, sharing the information and, bringing the truth to the front line, what's going on with hip hop in Uganda. I'm Babaluku from a legendary hip hop crew, Bataka Squad, the pioneers of Luga Flow. We represent the indigenous MCs in the context of, preserving language, rekindling, the spirit of our heritage and our ancestors to grow among young people. And, and our cause has been to, plant the transformative seeds of hip hop culture, in within the continent, so Africa and its young people could regain a colorful voice based in our, in our cultural expressions.
See, whenever I go around, people say like, you got to talk to Babaluku because he's the one who really brought the Luga flow, made us proud of us, made proud of our language, our culture, Uganda. And I was like, whoa. Tell me a little bit about like what really led you to really dig on that and just.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Canada and I left Uganda at the age of 12. And growing up in North America really didn't give me a lot of leeway to run away from being African because every day I got reminded I was black. And so in that reminder constantly, I was on a quest where North America encourages you to forget where you're from, to assimilate and become what they are. Every day when, in the hip hop culture, they use the word originality a lot. People are like, so, what do you represent? What I mean? What's your uniqueness, And I always was speaking in English and too shy to talk about my own language, because, the masses around me, everyone was expressing, in this art form in English. And so to me, when that question of, who are you, what do you represent came in my sphere, I started to say, oh, but I'm from Kampala. I grew up in Uganda. And I know that these people don't know about it, but maybe I'll get an opportunity to teach them about it. So that kind of feeling as a youth, pushed me to start really connecting to my roots and telling my mom and asking her about things that I could remember in Uganda. And that would encourage me sooner or later to, aspire to love my language and keep it with me. And later on, when I came to Africa, I found out that young people in Africa were having the same problem, which is they all wanted to be like the British or the Americans. Nobody wanted to be an African in Africa, which didn't make sense. And so, I had the opportunity to kind of share this double heritage of growing up in Canada. I call it knowledge of self. When you get that awareness, it can only push you to share with others what you've discovered. So I had discovered that being me and being from Uganda and representing Africa were key things to set me off as a young individual born in the continent who's proud of where he's from to share my authenticity and uniqueness with the world. So Luga Flow was birthed out of those ideologies of the quest to reconnect to the indigenous expression.
It's like you have to be away from your own land to really appreciate what it is, right?
And that's that truthfully said. Sometimes you don't appreciate where you're from because all you've had is the negative things that have happened about where you're from.
From the media,
throughout the media, how it's been exploited, how people stigmatize the notion, whether it's war, whether it's diseases, whether it's poverty. There's all of these negative connotations that come. Like when you meet a young person in North America today who's from Africa, and you say, hey, when are you going back to Africa? It's like, I'm not dreaming of going back. All because of the negativity. But me and you are here. You're from California. I'm from, Uganda, Vancouver. But we're in Africa enjoying and living. And so at the end of the day, this is a message for young people who are from the diaspora. Return back where you're from. People are living. I'm sure you've heard about Ebola recently. Uganda is in a list they're ranting about Ebola, but this is Africa and we don't even have a case of Ebola. So watch what the media sells to you. And learn how to connect with your own people so you can have your own authentic overview and not just take what people tell you about the country where you're from.